Hey, what's up, my young entrepreneurs? It's another day's Friday. Today is a good topic. We're going to start something new on my page here. We're going to talk about all things business. And when I mean all things business, I'm talking about all things business. And then we're going to talk about health. Because health and business is a hand in hand. One, we make our money, but health, it's just gotten to a point in society where we use all of what we work for on our health on the back end. So there's too much sacrifices we as entrepreneurs we make in this world that we need to have a full understanding in how to control our life. You know what I mean? Now, give you an example. These are my babies. Why haven't you seen them with me? It's because I'm sacrificing what I'm doing for them and their future. They understand that. We communicate all the time, so they understand that. So I'm not going to get into that today. Today is a different topic, but today I want to just inform you that this Facebook page thing is going to change, and today I'm going to talk about a book. Now, it's not my book. This is Joe Velomo's book. Now, the reason I want to talk about this book is for today's topic. And I'm using Joe as an example. So everyone knows that I've been writing these poems, and I gotten to a point where I'm collecting them, and I got to a point where, let me put this down. I got to a point where I'm going to have another book. So here's the thing. Here's a book that I wrote. Okay, this one is spiritual. That one is spiritual. And the one I'm writing is poetry. Now, I don't care what no one says. I'm writing because I like to write. Same thing with Joe. Joe has this book. This is an awesome book. This is an awesome book. Let me read a little bit about it. It's an empowerment guide for teens who wants to improve their lives. Okay, here's the thing. I'm using a book as an example. Joe told me a story. He said, this is what I want to do. Somebody gave him some guidance. The guidance was, write a book. Okay, here's the thing. Young entrepreneurs. I'm not talking about Joe. I am talking about Joe. But what I'm talking about is this thing right here. This thing right here. I'm using Joe as an example. I'm using myself as an example. And explaining. You start a project. You have to do some research. You find a mentor. You have to do some work. You find another research. And then you climb and you climb and climb and climb and climb and climb. And you got your goal number one. Goal number one, book. Okay. Here's the thing. Now what? Now what? This is the problem with corporations in the thinking and the young entrepreneurs in their thinking. Now again, I'm not talking about Joe. Joe is doing his work. He's doing a good thing. I love Joe. Joe loves, okay? He's doing his thing. I'm not complaining. I'm just using Joe as the example. Joe, I'm not sure. Joe has one book, right? He did everything he was supposed to do. He's got his book. Okay, now the question is what? Now what? It doesn't matter if it's a cup. Here's a cup. All right, it doesn't matter if it's a cup. Somebody wanted the cup. Here's a cup. Cup start. Okay, we got a cup. Now what? Look, I don't care what it is. Let me see. Oh, I love this cup. Somebody gave me this cup a long time ago. Texas, don't dial 911. I like that cup. All right, here's the thing. Somebody say cup. We got a cup. Okay, got the cup. Now what? So between the book, 2 cups, and it doesn't matter what it is. Now what? There's always going to be a question of this right here. Now what? Steve Jobs and others out there who are multi-billionaires, they all say the same thing. Dominate. But to dominate is not to dominate an industry. I mean, it is when you're at that level. Starting off young entrepreneurs, to dominate is to dominate you. To stop with the idea that you're done when you reach this goal. That's the worst thing you can ever do. I know. I was poor, I got to rich, and then I got to homeless. I got to homeless because of this idea right here. I reached my goal. So in the bigger scheme, let me get my marker. In the bigger scheme of things, all of what this is, boom, in a mountain, is that right there. In the bigger scheme, okay? Let me drop that. Because in the bigger scheme, this part right there is this goal, and micro looking at it, boom, okay, let's use Joe again. Micro, I got a book, okay, here's the question. I got the book, or I got the business, I got whatever, right? I got it, okay, fine, you got it. Now what? Because you got the rest of your life, right? You got so when I was here, let's say 30. So 30 plus or minus 30. I got some speed in me, so I'm about to work out. All right, so 30 plus or minus. When I was 30 plus, and I didn't have a book. I had a business. We had a business, and by the time I was 30, I had $3.5 million that I can log into my bank account. Okay, here's the thing. If right here I had 3.5 and I was in my 30s, I would say right there, let me get rid of this. I would say right there, I was homeless. Why? Because I thought what I did in my 30s, I thought I had it, I thought I was there, I was rich, I come from poor, and now I got money, and the money was plentiful. And I thought, being plentiful, I thought I had it, and it was, I didn't think past that. And that's the problem with young entrepreneurs. And young entrepreneurs who come up with a product or a business. Have you thought past that? Or are we just reaching goal after goal, right? Think past that. I didn't think past that. So my lesson learned is dominating. So from homeless, I had to restart my life. And I had to just get back. And then climb. Okay. Dominate. Let me pick up this marker thing. Dominating. Dominating at a young entrepreneur position is to always address the now what stage. Never being settled with an idea. And what I mean by that is this. When I wrote my book, so let me show you. To give you an example, I'm going to take this book here. Yeah. All right, so when I wrote this book, I'm going to use Joe's book as the example. Okay, when I wrote this book, right? Think about it. I want you to think of dominating. When I wrote this book, at the same time, I was writing this book. I didn't write it, Joe wrote it. But Joe, I'm just saying. So, in context, young entrepreneurs, what are we talking about dominating? If Joe wrote this book, at the same time, Joe needs to write this book. Because to dominate is to have things what we call in the pipeline. What do you have in the pipe? And so when you go and you do your business, young entrepreneurs, when you start something in your business, young entrepreneurs, when you're getting ready to complete something, your fear should be that if you're getting close of completion, your fear should be you don't have nothing else in the pipeline. I didn't have that fear in my 30s. That's why I was homeless. Don't think I don't put myself in the fear every step of the way. So this is why I don't care what people say about me. They don't know what I'm doing. They don't know that I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They don't know I went to bed at midnight, 1 o'clock last night. They don't know, and I don't care for them to know. I have my own goals. This right here. So you have your own business, you have your own goals. Today's lesson is very simple. Dominate. But you have to dominate you. Meaning, don't get settled and think it's done. Don't ever stop. When you finish one project and you don't have 2 or 3 behind you, be very afraid. Because now you're spending up your money that you made here. Okay? You don't want to spend your money here. You want to have recurring money in businesses, projects, all of those things at a continuing rate. So before you can dominate the industry, like I said, self. You have to dominate self. If you can dominate yourself, then you can take that and carbon copy it to the industry. Alright, so this is Dr. Bagley. Hope that made sense. Sorry, Joe, if you didn't want me to. Joe, I didn't get Joe's permission to use book. So sorry, Joe, if you get mad at me. That's cool. That's alright. We'll make it up later. But anyway, dominate self. Do not get placement. Do not think that just because you're working on one thing that you shouldn't have something behind you. This is a lifestyle. Being an entrepreneur is a lifestyle. It's not a job. This is a way of living. And if you want to make it in this world of entrepreneurship, may I suggest have 2 or 3 jobs or 2 or 3 projects or 2 or 3 businesses and then have 2 or 3 more in the pipeline. Alright, this is Dr. Bagley. Talk to you guys later. Hope it makes sense. I'm a little stubborn. I got a little something. It's 8 o'clock, 8:30. Yeah, I'm a little late, but it's Friday. Who cares? Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.